In today's episode, we're going to talk about an issue that affects every single one of us: food security and climate change, or in other words, the future of the food on our plates. Climate change is no longer just a concept of rising temperatures. It has become a global transformation that affects rainfall patterns, soil quality, agriculture, air pollution, and even international policies. Because of this, the way we produce and consume food is also changing. Today, we will explore how climate change is connected to food production and food safety. One of the most visible impacts of climate change is the change in rainfall patterns. In many regions around the world, rain seasons are shifting. Sometimes there is simply not enough rain, and in other cases, rain falls in short but extremely intense storms. For crops to grow, farmers need more than seeds, sunlight, and soil. Water is essential for agriculture production. However, increasing drought conditions are making farming much more difficult. When water becomes scarce, the first consequence is the decrease in crop fields. Over time, the quality of crop can also decline. If drought continues for long periods, certain plants may even disappear completely from that region. This situation does not only affect nature, but also food prices, availability, and other people's access to food. Another important challenge related to climate change is soil erosion. Heavy rainfall, rising temperatures, and unsustainable farming practices weaken the soil structure. The most fertile layer of soil can be washed away or degraded, which reduces the productivity of agricultural land. As soil quality decreases, farmers are often forced to change the way they produce food. In some places, traditional farming methods are becoming increasingly difficult because the soil no longer contains enough nutrients. For this reason, agriculture is evolving and new farming methods are becoming more common. One of the most promising alternatives is soilless agriculture, also known as hydroponic farming. In these systems, plants grow in nutrient-rich water solutions instead of soil. This method offers several advantages. There are fewer soil-borne diseases, water use is much more efficient, and production can continue throughout the entire year. Soilless farming is especially useful in places where water scarcity, soil erosion, or lack of agricultural land creates serious challenges. Because of these benefits, vertical farms, container farms, and urban culture projects are becoming more common in many parts of the world. At the same time, climate change is also influencing pest populations and plant diseases, which brings us to another important topic: pesticide use and food safety. As temperatures rise and ecosystems change, pests can spread more easily and damage crops. In order to protect their harvests, farmers often rely on pesticides. However, this situation creates two major concerns. First, there's the risk of chemical residues remaining in food products. Second, excessive or improper use of pesticides can lead to environmental pollution. Agriculture chemicals do not only stay in fields where they are applied, they can spread into soil, water, and even the air. During pesticides application, chemicals can move through the air with the wind. These substances can affect farmers, nearby communities, and wildlife. Pesticide particles become airborne and may be inhaled by people. In warmer climates, this effect can be even stronger because higher temperatures increase evaporation, allowing more chemicals to spread into the atmosphere and contribute to air pollution. Because of these risks, many countries are introducing stricter regulations and monitoring systems for pesticide use. Food safety has become not only a national issue but also an international one. Today, food produced in one country is often exported and consumed in another, which makes global standards extremely important. Several international organizations and agreements help regulate food safety around the world. These agreements help create a safer and more transparent global food system, but they also require continuous monitoring and testing of food products. In food safety inspections, scientists and authorities look for several different factors. Some of the most common tests include pesticides residues, aflatoxins, heavy metals, microbiological contamination, different foods are tested for different risks. For example, vegetables such as tomatoes and peppers are often checked for pesticides residues. Grains and nuts are frequently tested for aflatoxins, which are toxins produced by certain types of mold. Fish may be exempt for heavy metals, while dairy products are usually tested for microbial contamination. When we look at the bigger picture, it becomes clear that climate change is already transforming agriculture and food systems around the world. Less rainfall, weaker soils, and increasing pest problems are forcing farmers and governments to adapt to new conditions. At the same time, innovative solutions such as soilless farming, vertical agriculture, stronger food safety regulations, and international cooperation offer hope for the future. These decisions we make today will influence what we eat tomorrow. Thank you for listening to today's episode, where we explored the relationship between climate change and food security. See you in the next episode, and until then, stay informed and take care.